If she doesn't want to give it to you, what makes you think you're entitled to it? That's your problem. You think you're entitled to what you want, when you want it, how you want it. If she tells you to blow off today, then that's the end of it, right?
Yes.
And your attitude here today is you want to get the hell out of here with as little as possible, as soon as possible, and aren't really concerned with addressing the problem that you have. Breaking the law a lot, doing things you're not supposed to be doing a lot. You haven't endured shit, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you want, I can just send you to prison. You won't have to be on
Union,
probation.
how old are you?
Want that?
No, I do not. 38,
How far did you go through school?
bachelor's degree.
It's been represented to me, you're gonna plead guilty to count 1, menacing by stalking, felony 4, count 2, menacing by stalking, a felony 4, count 5, violating a protection order, a felony 5, count 7, violating a protection order, a felony 5, and count 8, criminal damaging or endangering a misdemeanor 1, and the remaining changes or charges will be dismissed at the time of sentencing. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Now, I could give you a consecutive sentence. That means one sentence after another for the separate offenses. If I did that, you face a maximum prison term of 60 months and a maximum fine of $16,000. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Zagretsky, if the case went to trial, what would the evidence show?
The defendant came to Lauren Simpson's place of work during her lunch break. There he had come to her car with the door open, was yelling at her. He had placed a GPS tracker on her vehicle. This is on February 13th. Later on that day, he came to Luke Eddy's residence where he did not have where the victim Lauren was. That's when she discovered that the GPS was placed on her vehicle. In the days prior to that, the victim had noted the defendant's vehicle following her. On February 14th, police were dispatched to Luke Eddy's home again. That is where the defendant had shattered the glass table in Luke Eddy's home. This had occurred while the victim, Lauren, was in the house with her son. Defendant came, shattered the table, and all during that time there was a protection order in place between the defendant and Lauren Simpson. On February 15th, the defendant then again came to the victim's home and was in the backyard, proceeded to pull her over to him. Again, there was a protection order in place. The defendant acknowledged that he knew about the protection order and had been sufficiently served during this time period. There's a history of the two. They're in a relationship, there's a history of violence, and this type of behavior between them, and they have a child together.
All right, thank you. Mr. Reardon, anything to add to the facts?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Union, did you hear what Ms. Zagretsky said the facts would show if the case went to a trial?
Yes.
And are those facts true?
Yes.
All right, what's your plea to count 1, menacing by stalking, a felony 4?
Guilty.
What is your plea to count 2, menacing by stalking, a felony 4?
Guilty.
What is your plea to count 5, violating a protection order, a felony 5?
Guilty.
What is your plea to count 7, violating a protection order, a felony 5?
Guilty.
What is your plea to count 8, criminal damaging or endangering a misdemeanor 1?
Guilty.
And the maximum penalty, find it to be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary, will accept his plea of guilty and find him guilty of count 1, menacing by stalking, a felony 4. Count 2, menacing by stalking, a felony 4. Count 5, violating a protection order, a felony 5. Count 7, violating a protection order, a felony 5. And count 8, criminal damaging or endangering a misdemeanor 1. I'm going to refer this for a pre-sentence report, a psychological evaluation, and a victim impact statement. Sentencing will be October 16 at 1 p.m.
I want to be sure there's no condition that he have no contact then.
No, I'm not going to place that condition right now.
Okay, thank you. Clear.
And unless I hear from the victim advocate that the victim wants that right now. Turn around. Turn
I'm
around.
sorry.
Turn around. Okay, I don't know you.
I'm sorry.
Okay? Based on what I heard today, I don't trust you.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't. Okay, so why don't you let me do this?
Okay.
Okay. No GPS. Okay.
So we'll know from the Alpha House if you leave.
I understand.
Anything else, Ms. Zagretzky?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Reardon?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
All right, we're adjourned.
Previously in court on August 27th, 2024, where the defendant pled guilty to count 1, menacing by stalking, a felony of the 4th degree, in violation of revised code section 2903.211A1. Count 2, menacing by stalking, a felony of the 4th degree, in violation of revised code section 2903.211A1. Count 5, violating a protection order, a felony of the 5th degree, in violation of revised code section 2919.27A2. Count 7, violating a protection order, a felony of the 5th degree, in violation of revised code section 2919.27A2. And count 8, criminal damaging a misdemeanor of the 1st degree, in violation of revised code section 2909.06A1. The court ordered a pre-sentence investigation and report and a victim impact statement. The state has had the opportunity to review those reports and is prepared to proceed with sentencing. Thank you.
Mr. Union, what do you want to tell me? No, Mr. Union.
Okay. It's been a long road since all this happened, and I would just like to assure the courts that none of this will happen again. I've been working a lot, trying to get my mind right, and I just look forward to starting new and getting my life together once I am able to leave.
Well, why did all this happen?
When you mean all this,
Well, I think there's one incident where you barged into her work and started screaming at her.
oh, that was just in the parking lot of the car. That was just me just looking to answers for our breakup, honestly. We were together and then all of a sudden we weren't, so that was just me looking for some kind of closure.
Well, during the incident, Union showed up at Simpson's lunch break, ripped the door open, and started yelling at her, demanding for his son back. February 13th. That kind of indicates to me you went into the place of work, found where she was.
There was the door of her car.
No?
It was just in the parking
It
lot.
was the door of her car.
Bad report then. What was the GPS tracker doing on her vehicle?
We had a lot of episodes where we were together and she was leaving all the time, disappearing, drinking alcohol with sometimes our son as well, and just me looking for a way to locate her because
So
she
you
would
put
go
the
on.
GPS tracker on her car?
Excuse me?
So you put the GPS tracker on her car,
Yes.
okay? Why did you tell Miss Crook that you didn't put the GPS
Miss-
tracker on
Who
her
was
car?
Miss Crook?
Miss Crook is the probation officer.
There must have been a miscommunication, and I apologize.
What did he tell you, Jamie?
He told me that it was a rental car and that's why there was a GPS on it, because it was a rental car. not-
It was, in fact.
He denied putting the GPS tracker on.
Why did you tell her that?
I do not know. If
Well-
I did miscommunicate that, then I apologize.
That's not a miscommunication, that's a lie, right?
Okay.
Right? So why did you lie to her? Why are you telling me
Because from the
that?
outside, it looks worse than I think it was. However, I do know that it was a mistake doing such things, that's not appropriate to track someone
So-
involuntarily.
So you're here talking to me, so if you're lying to her in the preparation of this report, why am I to believe anything you say? Because you're worried about the appearance of it, so why should I believe
No,
what
I mean,
you're?
I'm not
Because
worried.
now, are you putting on a show for me?
I'm not.
Okay, so why should I believe you when you're lying to her a couple weeks ago?
Because I feel like I am a man of integrity.
Then why are you lying? If you're a man of integrity.
I just didn't want to look like I was a crazy stalker in the eyes of the courts. That's not what I am.
Well-
Even though these charges imply that I am, but
Well, putting a GPS tracker on who you say is your girlfriend's car kind of makes you look like that, doesn't
yes, I
it?
understand.
Okay.
Yes, I understand.
And so you didn't want me to think that, so you lied to her.
I didn't realize that you would be reading exactly every word that I wrote. It
What
wasn't,
did-
it wasn't about miss.
What does it matter if I was going to read it or not read it? You're trying to curtail your story to your audience then, right? That's what you're telling me.
Not exactly.
The next day, February 14th, Valentine's Day, you're over at Luke Eddy's house, and you shatter the glass on the back deck, the table. Why did you do that?
To be honest, that was an accident. I meant to throw a rock at the roof of the house just to let them know that I was aware, or make them aware that I knew that she was there. It was
Why?
It was an accident hitting a table. I did not mean to inflict any damage to anyone's property.
Why were you throwing a rock at the roof to let them know you were there?
Because I was hurt at the time, because two days prior, we were together, and then I found out via text message via her that she had a new boyfriend. So I was in a lot of pain. I was hurt, and I was alone. She had my son at some new guy's house that I didn't even know about.
So it's okay then what you did?
It's not okay.
Okay. It's extreme is what it is, right? Or not? Is it not extreme?
Yes, it was extreme. The GPS was also extreme.
And yet you told Ms. Crook that you didn't break the table. There was an attempted violation of a protection order, a misdemeanor, in October of '22. What was that all about?
October of 22.
October 14th of '22.
Are you saying the first protection order violation?
That's what I'm saying.
That was an instance where I found out that Lauren was at a bar and she had my son in the car with another random gentleman. So I walked inside the bar to confront her about why my son was in the car.
Even though there was a protection order against you.
Yes.
Okay. How long had that protection order been in place?
Not very long.
Okay.
That I can recall.
Okay, and then 11 days later, there's a violation of a protection order in Willoughby Court. What was that one all about?
I'm not sure if that was the one we were just speaking to.
No, it's two different ones. One's in Menor, this one's in Willoughby.
The Willoughby one is the one I was talking about because I know that took place in Willoughby.
What about the Menor one?
What happened in the Menor one, I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Well, I'm referring to the conviction you have for attempted violation of protection order. The
And
incident that happened October 14th of '22.
it was an attempt.
That's right,
I'm not sure.
okay. Who was it domestic violence against in May of '23?
May. That was okay. Is that what you're referring to?
No, this is a different one.
The domestic violence was I was dropping my son off to her apartment. I had to get to work. She didn't answer the door, so I had to open up her window of her apartment to let my son in so I can get to work. And then as I was leaving, I noticed that his juice cup was in my car still. So I was a little bit angry, and I wanted to make sure his juice, and I threw it through the window without even looking inside, and it accidentally hit her on the ear, like right here. So that's what that domestic violence was.
Now, why in the world would I believe that?
Because that is what happened.
So you seem to have like a run of bad luck. After breaking into her apartment, throwing the sipper cup
Yeah, it was juice.
through the window, happens to hit her in the ear. Then you're throwing a rock at a roof and it happens to break the table. That's just a run of bad luck.
That's probably more a run of bad decisions.
What is your mental health diagnosis?
I'm not sure.
Were you ever evaluated?
Yes. I haven't gotten any results though personally.
When were you evaluated?
I believe I did an evaluation when I came to the Genesis Center. I did an assessment. I know I had one at Signature Health maybe a few years ago when we had those domestic violence charges. I believe I had to do an assessment, or that happened, and then I was on probation for that stuff that happened in Willoughby.
Okay, but you don't believe you have any mental health problems, right?
I don't know if I agree with that statement.
Well, you told the psychological evaluator that you deny any history of mental health treatment and do not have any mental health concerns at this time.
No, at that time, I did not.
Mr. Union stated, I don't need any mental health treatment. I just want to be able to return home and get on with my life and fix my relationship with my girlfriend and be there for our son.
I would probably say that we probably need counseling therapy for
For what?
Couples therapy.
Okay? But you don't need any mental health treatment because you don't have any problems. You got, I don't know what world you're living in, because this stuff has been going on for 2 years. Bizarre stuff been going on for 2 years, and you don't have any mental health problems? What drug problems do you have?
Currently, no drug problems.
What
Thank the
drug
Lord.
problems have you had?
I was using Klonopin, not as a drug habit. However,
As
it
what?
was a once every few months kind of thing.
For what?
Just anxiety.
Where'd you get that?
Lawrence prescribed it.
You're taking somebody else's meds?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that you use that you shouldn't have been using?
No.
What about marijuana?
Yes, I have smoked weed from time to time.
Benzodiazepines.
That's Klonopin.
Okay. What about alcohol?
Do drink occasionally socially, not as it was an alcoholic or anything, not frequently.
You like them to minimize all of your problems. That's what you did when you went through the pre-sentence report interview. It's what you did when you went through the psychological interview. So it seems to me you're a guy that's biding your time here. Tell me what you think I want to hear to get as minimal a sanction as possible. That's how you strike me.
I'm sorry that comes across that way.
Well, it only comes across that way because that's how it is. So, am I to assume that this nonsense that's been going on is all of a sudden going to stop?
I'm hoping that it will stop. Yes, that's my intent, not to do any of this craziness anymore.
Well, I would hope that would be your intention.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but this is your actions are very concerning to me. I mean, one of these incidents, she's taking the trash out and hears footsteps and it's you coming toward her. And then you grab her by the arm. What was that all about?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Well, I'm referring to the time that she was taking out the garbage, turned around, and you were coming at her, and then eventually caught her and grabbed her arm. So what was that all about?
I don't recall what the instance was, but I'm sure it was just me looking for answers to why we were together a few days prior, then
What?
all of a sudden there was a protection order.
Well, you just don't go up to the drugstore and get a protection order. You got to go through a process to prove certain facts before a protection order gets issued, okay? So you're just kind of like an innocent bystander and she's out to get you for whatever reason, is what you're kind of telling me.
I can't speak onto the reasons the protection orders were filed or the thoughts that she had while filing them.
Now, didn't this have something to do with her breaking up with you or some nonsense like that?
What do you mean by that? It had to do with her using a protection order as a way to break up with me.
Why was she breaking up with you? And if she was breaking up with you, why didn't you respect that decision and stop pestering her?
I was just looking for some closure to why.
Okay,
I
well,
was.
what makes you think you're entitled to that closure?
I guess I was.
If she doesn't want to give it to you, what makes you think you're entitled to it? That's your problem. You think you're entitled to what you want, when you want it, how you want it. That's your problem. If she tells you to blow off today, then that's the end of it, right?
Yes.
but not with you. That's my concern about you. Sit down. Sarana.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Ms. Simpson would like to make a statement to the court prior to the state making their recommendation.
What do you want to tell me?
I'd first like to comment on how quickly this turned into a dumpster fire. I think he's terrified of the consequences that are coming his way potentially, and I.
Oh, he should be.
Yes, and I also agree with you that he is downsizing this regarding, like downplaying this, regardless of some of those shaded comments. I'm very proud of him. I am entitled to some help with my child, as he is a father, and he was a loving one, and he has been a great one until he started having some drug and alcohol problems. And we both kind of cyclically had some of those problems together. I am not faultless in this. I did not do some of those extreme things, or any of those extreme things, but I didn't exactly not provoke some of the situation as well. I'm proud of him, and I think he is a man of integrity. He's going to do well in society, given the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Sarana?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just to touch on a couple of things that were spoken about with the defendant here. In addition to the tracker and the showing up at boyfriend's houses and all just taking out the trash, there was a pattern of incessant phone calling as well that, I mean, in certain days went up to 379 calls in one day, 231 calls in one day, 199 calls
How
in
do you
one day.
physically do that?
130 calls, 155 calls. These are all within January and February, so leading up to these offenses. So I do think that there is a significant mental health component to that. The state did agree as part of the plea to recommend community control sanctions, and the defendant has not violated his bond since he has been in treatment. So the state is going to continue to recommend community control sanctions. However, even the most recent bond violation for the OVI in July involved the defendant at 2 a.m. crashing his vehicle, drunk, looking for Ms. Simpson with their 4-year-old son in the car. I think that shows as recently as July that there is not only an issue with alcohol and substances, but an issue still with this relationship with Ms. Simpson. And so the state is going to ask that you adopt the recommendation of the probation department. I would also specifically ask for mental health treatment outside of just the drug treatment and the IOPs, and outside of couples counseling, like actual mental health treatment, because whether or not the defendant wants to state that that's a problem, I think it's clear from the fact that that is something that has contributed to all of this behavior. Thank you.
Why were you riding around with your son under the influence at 2 in the morning?
We had an argument earlier that day, and I didn't hear from her for 6, 7, 8 hours.
Jesus. How old are you?
38 years old.
Okay. This having an argument with your girlfriend and getting mad about it and driving around looking for her, it's probably more appropriate for like a 16-year-old than a 38-year-old.
Yes.
Okay. Are you stuck?
When we get in arguments, usually when she disappears like this, she goes to the bar, and I was worried about her getting intoxicated at a bar.
So what did you do? Check different bars?
Yes, she has a few local bars that she hangs out at.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the drug and alcohol evaluation. I've considered what everybody has said here today. I'm going to place you on community control for 5 years. You're going to serve 47 days in the jail with credit for 47. You're going to remain at the Alpha House sober living facility for a minimum of a total of 6 months. Continue your aftercare, or if you haven't started the aftercare, you're going to start the aftercare, complete it, and follow all recommendations. You're to have no drugs or alcohol, and you'll be screened. You're gonna get a mental health evaluation, a new one. You're gonna follow all the recommendations. You're gonna attend at least 3 AA meetings a week and obtain a sponsor and maintain a sponsor. You're gonna get a valid driver's license, obtain and maintain full employment, and pay the costs and supervision fees. Anything else, Ms. Crook?
So I have to remain at the house
the
for
Alpha
another
House.
4 months?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's clear that you don't want to. It's clear you
I
want to leave
just-
now.
I have a 4-year-old that dearly misses me, and that I need him as much as I need him.
So why don't you figure out how to live your life like a 38-year-old, okay? And then you won't have people telling you where you have to live and when you have to live there and how long you have to live there, and live a normal life for a 38-year-old. That's the answer. You got problems that you may or may not resolve. And your attitude here today is you want to get the hell out of here with as little as possible, as soon as possible, and aren't really concerned with addressing the problem that you have, the problems that you have. So you're going to fail. None of this means anything. You're going to fail because you don't want to do this stuff. Any other questions? Is that a no?
No.
Okay. Now, if you do not comply with each and every one of these terms, the state will file a motion to terminate your community control, and if I find you violated, I'll terminate it, and you'll go to prison for 60 months. 60. 5 years. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
As you sit there and shake your head in disbelief that you're having to endure all this stuff.
I've endured a lot, Your Honor.
No, you screwed around a lot, breaking the law a lot, doing things you're not supposed to be doing a lot. You haven't endured shit, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you want, I can just send you to prison. You won't have to be on probation.
Please
You
do not
want
do
that?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Hronik?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Reardon?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Now, whether I see you again, Mr. Union, is completely up to you. You don't want to see me again? Do what you're supposed to do and live like an adult.